What up, everybody? What's going on? Hope all is doing well. And if not, hope we get back on track sooner than later. So you can update thing, you know what I mean? Right now, we're about to react to a video that's talking about the top 10 foods that RFK, you know, our health secretary that Trump appointed, the top 10 food he's about to ban from, you know what I mean? Like other countries ban these foods. So you got to think about it. If these other countries ban these foods, why are they still legal here? Whatever the case is, let's get to it. You know what I mean? Dr. Ekberg. You know what I mean? Journalist style, let's go.
Hello, health champions. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 foods that have been shut down or are about to be restricted by RFK. And finally, after having talked about these issues for decades, about how food isn't food anymore and how we're being poisoned from the inside, finally, there is...
And the thing is, all these foods affect us. Not necessarily in the same way, but it affects us in some way. Because remember, these foods are not natural. We are organic. Organic as in the word organic, real. These food are put together, made up, processed, extracted from somewhere else and mixed with something else to give to. That's good.
A U.S. Secretary of Health, for the first time ever, who agrees
Big
more
up.
with actual practitioners of health
Big up
rather
RFK.
than the mainstream medical establishments. And with health practitioners, I mean those who help people get healthy, like chiropractors, like naturopaths, like people in functional medicine, and also those few wonderful heretics of the medical profession, the medical doctors who have gone against the mainstream of their profession because it doesn't work. And now finally we have a U.S. Secretary of Health who speaks the language that we do. The first thing he's trying to get rid of is a bunch of artificial colors such as red 3, red number 40, yellow number 5, and blue number 1. And these...
You hear that? All those artificial colors there. You know, the colors that's banned in most countries, but also in all mostly cereals. What we got about? The colorful fruity pebble stuff, the Lucky Charms. You know what I'm saying? Probably the Captain Crunch, all of them. M&M's, red colors, yellow color, blue, green. They're not natural, yo.
Already banned in many countries or even most countries around the world because it's well recognized how dangerous they are and how much harm they do. They're strongly linked to hyperactivity, especially in kids, to behavioral issues, and also to allergies. And it causes thyroid cancer in rats, and that's why red number 3 has been banned from cosmetics. So get this. The FDA has a clause called the Delaney Clause that prohibits, that outlaws any additive that is known to cause cancer. So now you can't put it on your skin since 1990, but you can still eat it. But now since many manufacturers have already...
Does that make any sense? If they know it's causing cancer, you can't put it on your skin. But they can put it in the ingredients? What?
And in many countries, or even most countries around the world, because it's well recognized how dangerous they are and how much harm they do. They're strongly linked to hyperactivity, especially in kids, to behavioral issues, and also to allergies. And it causes thyroid cancer in rats, and that's why red number 3 has been banned from cosmetics. So get this, the FDA has a clause called the Delaney Clause that prohibits, that outlaws any additive that is known to cause cancer. So now you can't put it on your skin since 1990, but you can still eat it. But now since many manufacturers are anticipating that it will be outlawed, now very quickly they can start reformulating and get rid of it. So what that's telling us is that this stuff is not hard to get rid of. It's just a matter of wanting to. It's not expensive, it's not difficult, it's just lazy, and if they don't have an incentive, and if nobody tells them what's healthy or not, then they're just going to do whatever they've been doing. Number 2 is Kennedy wants to get rid of SNAP junk food, and SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, formerly known as food stamps. And here Kennedy says that tax-funded programs should promote health, not disease. What a concept. We shouldn't pay for people to get sick. So he wants to stop soap.
Doesn't that make sense? Because all these snacks, high in sodium, high in sugar, and all other things, some stuff we don't even know about because we can't pronounce the word, pronounce the name of it, right? But it's in all these snacks that we give it to the kids. Us ourselves eating it, you know why, right? Lack of information. Not knowing why going. See why information is the key to a lot of stuff? You know what I'm saying? Because remember, our health is up to us. It's up to us to feel how we feel because we feel how we feel. So it's up to us to make sure we consuming the right thing and we know what we're eating. But for years, these people are slick with creating new things and putting new stuff in putting all these creative things to catch us. It's like there's science in the food to trick our bodies to eating it, even though you might not necessarily want it, but to find yourself gearing towards it unconsciously. And you're eating these things because it's designed for you to get catch. For it to taste so good that your taste bud just tell your body just go get it while you're worrying about other stuff. Because we're so damn busy surviving, right? But it's a good thing. RFK is doing is a good thing, man. So now SNAP, right, is the welfare food and all of that. What they approved for you to get? That's on those lists. Here we go. At least he's correcting it, right? Janu.
Candy and ultra-processed foods from any government program because it is known, very well known, that sugar causes obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease, and doesn't only cause it, but it does so especially in low-income communities. So if we use
what is in the low-income communities, all hoods, all across the nation? The corner stores. The corner stores. Starts when you know information, and each one teach one. The more you know, you can grow. So I'm here holding the vibe, y'all, and I'm gonna hold vibes with information that I get, and I'm just gonna put it out there, and who hears it, hears it. You know what I mean? So big up to all my subs, y'all. Appreciate the new subs. Big up to all the old subs. Let's continue to grow this channel, y'all. Let's go.
Tax funds to pay for junk food for people with food stamps. Now they're going to get sick, and then we get to pay for it again with their medical bills. But now, of course, the critics call it paternalistic, and it says that this unfairly targets the poor. And I'm just curious, what's unfair about trying to keep someone healthy? Why should we pay for junk food? Should we pay for booze? Should we pay for cigarettes? Where do you draw the line to not call it
choices? It's all about choices.
Fair. I think it's totally obvious that tax funds should go toward keeping people healthy. But it just goes to show, in my opinion, that we have, as a country, as a society, and as an entire Western culture, we have absolutely no concept of what food is anymore. Number 3 is high fructose corn syrup. And Kennedy wants to discourage and reduce the use in schools and in government programs. So again, if we're using tax funds for this, then it shouldn't be to make people sicker. And high fructose corn syrup is very clearly one of the major problems with obesity and the metabolic disease pandemic that we see in the world today. But this issue becomes even more complicated now because of corn subsidies, because the entire industry of corn is subsidized, and as Kennedy points out, that makes corn artificially cheap. So junk food becomes artificially cheap. And on the counter side, we have, of course,
so they're messing with the corn and doing this science thing. I heard especially the corn product. Now they infused all those things to like the insect repellents and bug repellents. That's infused in the seeds of the corn. So it grows with those repellents in it. That's how nice science has gotten. But it's also playing with the food and putting us at risk. Shortening our time and our experience on this journey, right?
Corn lobbyists and the big food companies who say that there will be massive profit implications. And I don't doubt that in any way, but that's not a reason that we don't have to do something about it. Item number 4 is about seed oil. So Kennedy wants to get rid of or restrict the use of canola, soybean, corn, sunflower, and safflower oil. And why is that? Because they are sky high. They are so rich in omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acids, which promote inflammation and contribute to the obesity and metabolic.
All this time I'm thinking those things are okay. I'm thinking those things are all right to use. What?
Disease epidemic. So the more of these omega-6 oils we use, the more we're going to see of obesity, insulin resistance, cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and dementia. So Kennedy wants to remove these types of oils from school
Big
lunches.
up, brother.
We shouldn't
Big
give
up.
these to the kids, but instead we should give them healthy fats. We should replace those with olive oil, with coconut oil, and with butter. I could hardly believe my ears when I saw that. I don't think it's
Not so much butter, but you know.
less than 100 videos that I have talked about the healthy fats being extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, and butter. And here we hear it again from the U.S. Secretary of Health. This is very, very hopeful. But of course, on that note, the mainstream nutrition so-called experts claim that the polyunsaturated fatty acids, the vegetable oils that have made us so sick that we've been eating since the 1960s, 70s now, they promote those and say that they are beneficial when replacing saturated fats. So again, they fall into the fallacy of throwing all sorts of fats on the bandwagon and saying that all saturated fats are bad, which of course is not true. The natural fats that we just talked about, coconut oil and butter, and even cooking oils from lard and tallow and goose fat, those are very, very stable. When they come from a healthy source and we don't massively overheat them, then they are stable and safe and healthy fats. Food number 5 Kennedy wants to get rid of is ultra-processed foods out of the schools. So he thinks we should no longer serve these things to kids, things like frozen pizza, chicken nuggets, sugary cereals, chips, and shelf-stable desserts. And what makes something shelf-stable, that it can sit there on the shelf for months and months, of course, is sugar and seed oils and preservatives and additives. That's what makes it shelf-stable. And these foods are clearly linked to things like chronic inflammation, obesity, cognitive decline, and early mortality. And this
You hear all of that? Chronic inflammation, obesity, cognitive decline, and early mortality. January star.